So it's no secret that I'm a big fan of Back to the Future. The 1985 Bob Gale, Bob Zemeckis movie is my favorite movie of all time. And over the years I've collected quite a few variations and versions of the movie on home video. So today I'm going to show you guys a few of those. Just the first movie. Perhaps in a later episode we'll take a look at the second and the third movie in the trilogy. But today, Back to the Future, the original. So, in 1995, 10 years after the movie's release, I first saw the movie with my dad, a rental VHS, and funny thing is, I fell asleep. Perhaps I was too tired, I don't remember. But so my first impression wasn't like the best one, but then it got like an airing on, well, a Belgian channel, I think VTM. I taped it. I saw it and I fell in love with it. So that's when I became obsessed with the movie. I was like, as a 10-year-old kid tends to do, just watch it every day, again and again and again. And then, I don't quite remember, but I think in June '95, something like that, for my good report card, I got the trilogy on VHS. So this is actually the first time I got Back to the Future on home video. This is of course the Belgian or the Dutch version. Luckily in Belgium we never dub movies, so this is the English version with Dutch subtitles. Without exaggeration, I've seen this tape like 150 times. Back then, yeah, well, I had no LaserDisc, I had no DVD, so up until 2002 this was the only way to watch my favorite movie of all time. So as you can imagine, in those 7 years, yeah. In 2002 the first DVD came out, so this was the day one DVD version, signed by Christopher Lloyd. Now I don't like to pay for autographs on like conventions, but this was a free autograph from Mr. Lloyd. In 2007 he visited Brussels because he was knighted in the Order of the Raven at the BIFFF, the Brussels International Festival for Fantastic Film. And afterwards there was like a Q&A, and he just signed autographs for free. So I gave Mr. Lloyd a poem that I'd written for him, and he signed my DVD. So great moment, great memory. A few years later, the video rental store that I just mentioned from '95, where I first got Back to the Future, they closed shop. They were cleaning out their VHS section. So I picked up the rental tape. This is the one I actually rented. It comes in this big fat excellent clamshell. This is the one I rented back in the day. So yeah, this one as well holds some sentimental value because this very tape was the actual first time I ever saw Back to the Future. I fell asleep. Closing off the VHS tape versions, I also have the Japanese one. Now, Japanese tapes, they tend to come in a very strange box. So this is like a box in a box. Okay. And yeah, then it's, oh yeah, it's like sealed at the top. And then, yeah, well, it's just the regular CIC video logo. And over here is where you find the movie title. Yeah, you have to read it like this. This one I got just a few years ago from a vendor in Japan. I think the tape was just like 80 cents, but the shipping was horrendous. So I paid like 15 or 13 euro just for shipping. Now last year in England I bought a VHS-esque reissue. This is the Blu-ray in a faux VHS case. Very nice. It comes with a trading card and a sticker, and also a small poster. It also includes the DVD, and this one was just, I think it was £7, so not too shabby. And then one final obscure release is the Back to the Future video CD from, it includes Cantonese subtitles, so I'm assuming it's from, let's see, yeah, from Hong Kong. Yeah. This one is also in English, but with burned in subs, so it's a pain on the eyes, and it's also in very shitty quality. It's like 2 discs. Yeah, as you guys may remember, VCD was like a 240p video signal, so that's even worse than VHS, and with lots of macro blocking and artifacts. Not the most pleasing picture to the eye. Then of course I got like 17 billion LaserDiscs, so let's take a look. This was the first one I ever got. This is the British Pioneer pressing. Very, very excellent picture and audio quality, especially for a PAL disc. Only downside is there are no chapters, so you have to watch the whole movie in 2 sittings. Well, one side 60 minutes and the other side. Also very lovely hard cardboard cover. Then I got the NTSC, the American widescreen version. This one is still sealed because, well, I do own the movie on several other formats. This one still includes its original price tag, $34.98. One of the top grossing box office comedies of all time. A movie for all ages and a wonderful fantasy, a delectable comedy. Well, very true. Then I got like 3 different Japanese LaserDiscs. So this is the first one. This is the only one that's been spread across, well, 3 sides, so 2 discs. As you may or may not remember, well, a LaserDisc can hold 60 minutes per side. So Back to the Future, being a 117-minute movie, fits on one LaserDisc, 60 minutes per side. However, for reasons unknown, this Japanese pressing includes, well, a 3rd side, and it's not like it's a CAV, CLV thing. It's just the 3rd side begins when the lightning hits the clock tower. So it's really like the last 10 minutes of the movie. I have no idea why they chose to put that on, well, a 3rd side. I don't know. This is another Japanese pressing. This is just, well, 1 disc. And it includes the movie title on, in Japanese font. And this one is more or less the same. Also 1 disc, Japanese font. But this one is in this one is a reissue. It's called Evergreen, in the Evergreen series special price. So this was like back in the day a discounted version. So let's compare. That's what you have the Obies for. The original movie, well, the original version was 4,700 yen, and this one was 4,700 yen. So the same price. Special price, a lie. Continuing, I have the Dutch Philips PAL pressing, English audio Dutch subs, still sealed, because Philips pressings are horrendous. They're very, very, very ugly, so I don't need to open this one to check it out. It's well, it looks worse than a VHS. And then finally, I have the American LaserDisc, but this is the the full screen version, so the pan and scan from, let's see, also from, well, from 86 or 85. So this was not 86. So this was the first American, the first domestic LaserDisc. Of course, the later widescreen one is recommended. And then the final version of the first movie is the very rare, the very expensive Japanese Muse LaserDisc. As you may or may not know, Muse was like 1992, 1993, a new, well, a niche within a niche, because LaserDisc was already a niche. It only came out in Japan. It was a 1080i video signal, so like early HD, 720p. And well, you have to remember, in 1993, this was 13 years prior to the introduction of HD DVD, prior to the introduction of Blu-ray. So this was way ahead of its time. If you had the bucks or the yen. you were like a very affluent Japanese guy, you could buy a $6,000 player, a Muse high-vision LaserDisc player from Pioneer. You could pay at least 500 euro or dollars for a decoder, because yes, you needed to decode the Muse signal. And then you had to shell out at least $20,000 to $25,000 for the first tube high-definition television sets. And then this movie at least cost $180. So in total we're looking at, well, $30,000 just to watch a few select movies in early 1080i HD. That's dedication. I bought an affordable high-vision LaserDisc player a few years ago. I finally found an affordable Muse decoder, and of course we don't need those expensive TVs anymore, because now HD TVs are very affordable. So the only thing lacking for the full experience was a copy of Back to the Future on Muse LaserDisc. They're not easy to find. Let's say if you're looking at eBay right now, a copy will set you back at least 400 to 500, sometimes 700 euro or dollar. And I got lucky, so I found one for $92 in Japan. So including shipping, it came down to something like $150. I know, it's ridiculous. I own this movie 7 billion times. But for this version, $150 was a steal, believe it or not. So I'm going to show you guys. It does come in a very nice overlay in carton. This is carton. And then even some soft cloth to protect the disc. And then it's presented more or less like a huge CD. So as you can see, no other LaserDiscs are ever presented like this. I had Mr. James Tolkien, Mr. Strickland, I had him sign my Muse because he, together with Mayor Goldie Wilson and Claudia Wells, Jennifer Parker. May Goldie Wilson, Donald Foley-Love, by the way, in case you think I don't know the guy's name. They both, the three of them, they came to Brussels Comic-Con, and Mr. Tolkien was kind enough to offer something in return. He said, yeah, shall I give you a free autograph? And I said, yeah, sure, if you want you can sign my Muse LaserDisc. Of course, he had no idea what that was. There is no reason why someone should own 20 plus copies of the same movie. I haven't even shown you guys my other Blu-ray and DVD versions. But yeah, what can I say? Some people like to gamble, others like to watch football with their mates. I like to spend my time watching the greatest movie of all time on multiple formats.